560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. America First with Sebastian Gorka, today at 3, right before Sean Thompson at 4 on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. I don't know why we're the only ones who will do this. We're happy to do it, but there should be a chorus talking about the hypocrisy of Illinois state legislators when it comes to the tax credit scholarship program to provide school choice to lower to middle income families who are otherwise relegated to terrible schools discriminated against based on their household income and their address. Let me give you a little bit of a sampling of where your duly elected state legislators went to high school. Selective enrollment and private schools.
Must be nice.
Edgar Gonzalez, raised in Little Village, went to Whitney Young,
Nice.
Democrat. Nicholas Smith, that is, Whitney Young. LaShawn Ford, West Side, our friend LaShawn, went to Weber Catholic. Justin Slaughter, the Dickensian named sponsor of the Safety Act, University of Chicago Lab School. Democrats. Mike Porfirio, Senator, Bridgeview, St. Rita. Marty Moylan, Des Plaines, St. Philip. Michael Kelly, Democrat. These are all Democrats. St. Patrick. Don Harmon, St. Ignatius. L.G. Sims, St. Ignatius. Kelly Burke, St. Ignatius. Mike Simons, St. Elmo. Meg Capel, Providence Catholic. Bradley Fritz, he's a Republican, but a squish. Newman Central Catholic. Bill Cunningham, Beverly neighborhood, Mount Carmel. Amy Elk, Marquette Catholic. Curtis Tarver, Marian Catholic. Now, some of these Democrats voted for the tax credit scholarship program, but where are their voices now when it matters, when the program's on the chopping block? That lowlife, the guy who looks like 20 pounds of manure stuffed in a 10-pound bag, Bobby Martwick from the Northwest Side, Loyola Academy. Selena Villanueva, Kenwood Academy. Larry Walsh Jr., Joliet Catholic. Sarah Feigenholz, Ida Crown Jewish Academy.
Lisa Madigan went to Latin.
Of course you did. John Curran, your squishy Republican impersonator and Senate super minority leader, Brother Rice. Where is he? Where is he speaking up? Anastava Murray in Naperville, Bennett Academy, my alma mater. And on and on and on. The hypocrisy. Meanwhile, they're threatening Jerry Valdivia. They're threatening him and his family to take the scholarships away from his children that are providing a better education and a path to a better life for his kids. Jerry Valdivia Sr. joins us now. Jerry, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
So you were in Springfield last week. Maybe you're going down this week, too. I'm not sure. But what was your experience like down there as you were talking to legislators advocating on behalf of the scholarship program for your kids and other similarly situated kids?
I mean, so we basically, we knew what legislators we needed to talk to. We did have some negative feedback, obviously from Ms. Teresa Ma, who just doesn't seem to understand how important this is for myself. And I've explained, to other legislators how, there's my wife, she works for CPS, and how there's a lot of teachers who work in CPS and they send their kids to private schools. It's not necessarily the whole idea of a private school. It's just the fact that you have a choice, of where you want to send your kid. And, I grew up in the public school system, and believe me, there's no way I want my kids to grow up there. And that's just my choice. The important thing about these tax credit scholarships is is giving families the choice of where they want to send their kids to. And, for me, it's a faith-based education, especially with my oldest three, who each one of them have lost a biological parent. My son Jerry and my daughter Kiara lost their mom in 2015, and my son Nathan lost his dad in 2014. So, a faith-based education is something that's going to help them grieve. It's going to help them, grow up to be adults with the understanding of not only where their parents are, but, a little bit more in depth of what life and, what life has taken from them.
Well, so wait, who did you say you got negative feedback from you spoke to?
Miss Teresa Ma.
Oh, Teresa Ma from Chinatown. Uh-huh. And what did she say?
What'd she say? Yeah.
She says she's just she's more into the kindergarten to 12th grade public schools. She's just for that. She just, it didn't really seem like she wanted to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
But you, as a father who benefits, your kids benefit from this. Isn't it just a head scratcher that state government wants to take away something that is helping disadvantaged children?
Well, yeah. I mean, out of all of this, the thing that's, the hardest to believe is that Illinois is going to be the first state to lose these scholarship programs. Like, let another state make that mistake, but not us. Let Illinois keep this program alive. Let's keep raising funds and stuff like that for families to have a choice, for families to be able to send their kids. Why can't my kids, go to school with other kids who have, I guess, been born into a wealthy environment?
Did you talk to legislative leaders? And Chris Welch sends his kids to Timothy Christian. He's the House Speaker. Don Harmon, I just mentioned, St. Ignatius. He's the Senate President. What do they say?
I actually did not speak to him, but I mean, it's like we were told at an orientation at Marist High School, because that's where my oldest goes. This current year we did not receive a scholarship for him. But my thing is, as they said, it all depends on who your kids are rubbing shoulders with, and that's what I want for my kids, especially being raised here in Pilsen, where it's, especially now that summer's around the corner, every other weekend, we're hearing gunshots, and we want to be able to get our kids out of here. We want to be able to get out of here, but the only proper way to do that is giving our kids an education. Getting away from that statistic that we are supposed to be here and live here and die here, poor.
Teresa Ma, by the way, state rep from the Chinatown area.
Where'd she go to high school?
Well, she represents. She's more into public schools. You said, Jerry. Yeah, she's really into them. She represents Kelly High School. 9% of the students are at grade level in English at Kelly High School. Yeah, she's doing a bang-up job at $30,000 per pupil, along with CPS and the teachers' unions and these Democrat socialist politicians. They're really killing it in the neighborhood schools, which is why you see this exodus, an attempted exodus from those neighborhood schools to schools that have proven that they do a good job of educating kids, particularly when parents are engaged. And now you have, obviously, engaged parents who went the length to get access to these scholarships. You're people like you down in Springfield talking to legislators, and yet here they are either playing Pontius Pilate like Governor Pritzker is, saying, oh, well, the legislature has to pass it for me to take a position on it. And so many of these legislators who benefited from private school who don't want the same benefits afforded to children like yours.
Right. I mean, in general, again, my thing is more of us having a choice of where we want to send our kids. My son Jerry, after the house fire, he was in a public school before the house fire, and I left him in the public school system because I didn't want, he had just lost his mom. I didn't want him to lose all his friends, but his classroom was a dual grade classroom, so it was a second and third grade. It wasn't just one grade. So everything your third graders are learning, it's the second grade, and everything the second graders, it's like a repetitive system in that school. And on top of that, there's 33 kids in that school. In that classroom.
Have you told your kids what's going to happen or what's about to happen?
Well, yes. So they're aware of it. I mean, especially Jerry, because like I said, this past year we we actually, mom and I were paying for his tuition at Marist, and the the school administration was nice enough to help us with some financial aid. But I tell the kids, that with these scholarships, it just means that without these scholarships, it just means that mom and dad are probably going to have to get a second job and not really be around them, because I just can't send them to a public school. Again, that's my choice, and I wish that legislators would see that some parents are out there working hard to make sure their kids have the education that they had, or the education that a lot of other kids are born into. I mean, this having the choice, it's a kid's right, to be able to have a good education. And why should someone else tell me that my kids can't go to a private school?
Quick correction, LG Sims, I mentioned state rep, went to Quigley South, not St. Ignatius. I apparently misspoke. Doesn't really matter. He's still lording over a district with terrible schools, and he should be an outspoken advocate for school choice, because he represents a lot of lower to middle income parents who would love the opportunity to have choice with their kids' education as well. You mentioned in passing, but I want you to tell the story about the house fire. What happened to your family?
So in July of 2015, we were living in the West Lawndale neighborhood. It's actually, I still live around the corner from the place, and we were all sleeping in around 3-4 in the morning. We woke up to flames. We tried to get my family out of the house, and I couldn't. I couldn't get them out. The fire department had to get them out. And my son Jerry has 35% of his body burnt, and my daughter has 15%. You can see visible skin grafts on them, which is why I can't send them to public school. I remember being bullied as a kid. I don't want them to be bullied. I don't want them to go through the same thing I did. And with these skin grafts, I'm scared that it's just going to traumatize them and remind them of, not only losing their mom, but of this terrible accident.
Yeah, you lost your wife in that fire?
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry.
She was 24.
So, what kind of reaction are you getting from Republicans that you spoke with?
I mean, I'm getting good responses from them. It's like they'll literally tap me on the shoulder, and they'll say they would say, I'm on your side, right? And I'll be honest with you. I mean, just walking in the first year that I went to Springfield to talk to legislators, you have Republican legislators out there welcoming you, telling you this is your house, welcome to your house. And as far as, when we want to talk to them about, last year we were talking about HB 4126, they're there, they're actually listening to you. They're willing to take whatever pamphlet or
information that you have.
Information that you have printed out. They're willing to at least take it from your hand.
Do you have a handle, and perhaps in conversation with other parents about what you think the General Assembly is going to do? Do you think that there's going to be enough pressure to save the scholarship program, or how optimistic are you?
At this point, I don't really know. I don't know if like I said, I don't know if in a couple months I need to talk to my boss and ask him, for longer shifts or, for more time. I just know that, right now all I can do is pray that, legislators think about the future of these kids.
Jerry Valdivia Sr. He's a father, as you heard, of Illinois Opportunity Scholarship recipient who's been advocating on behalf of the scholarship program for his kids and others. Jerry, thanks so much for joining us and telling your story. We'll be praying along with you and trying our best to hold these professional liars in Springfield accountable to preserve the scholarship program, and including the professional liar in the governor's mansion. Jerry, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
It's no secret that this economy is taking its toll on us, but I've got some important news that could really help. If you're facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt, you need to know that you may not be required to pay it all back. There are special programs that can significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This isn't bankruptcy or a high-interest debt consolidation loan. These are programs that credit card companies don't want you to know about, ones that offer Americans struggling with overwhelming credit card debt savings and real debt relief faster than thought possible. Accredited Debt Relief has a special hotline to learn all about these programs and what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualified consumers with over $1 billion in debt and have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. So call the Accredited Debt Relief hotline now for this free information. Call 800-786-2300. 800-786-2300. That's 800-786-2300.